shake it, shake it, shake it, boom, 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 shake it, shake it, shake it, boom.
What's up, divine babies?
Welcome back to episode 4 of the Spiritually Sexy Podcast with your girl,
Pearl,
and Amber,
where we invite open dialogue about infinite intimacies, connecting with oneself and others, the seen and the unseen. But you already know, right? Before we get into that. Guys, welcome back to the Spiritually Sexy Podcast. Today we're gonna switch it up a little bit like we always do. We have a special guest on here. We're gonna be inviting her shortly. She's one of my homegirls from a women's retreat that I went to last year, and she's pretty dope. I created a little tribe with those group of people, those group of women, and so of course we support one another, and she'll be on. But before we also talk about that, thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Continue to subscribe. Hit that like button. That like button is important, guys. Please continue to hit the like button. Share our content. Join the movement. Let's have open dialogue. Let's have healthy conversations. Let's have healthy debates. Men and women alike, you guys are both invited onto this podcast, onto this platform with Amber and I. So we can just, have a safe space to talk about things that have substance, So so we're gonna welcome Amber. You got something to say before we invite homegirl?
Just thank everybody for watching, participating. If anybody wants to come on, it's a safe space. I know I'm kind of like just piggybacking on what she said, but it's a safe space. And we'll definitely protect you, be there for you if you need anything. Excuse my little side character here, Casper, but yeah, he's just confirming that.
All right, guys, so we're gonna welcome our girl, Trilci. Messed this up. Her name is Trilci, y'all. That's my girl, okay?
Shout out to Cece. Thanks for coming.
Cece should be joining us shortly. I told her to get started, join the room. But you know what? She did say people always mess up a name. Trilci. No, Trilci. Is that what she said?
She said, Cece.
Where's Cece at? Messed up your name, girl. And say your name again, Cece. Say your real name, because I love that name.
Trilci.
Girl, get your mind right.
Trilci, okay? Don't ask me where it came from.
Won't forget. Thank you for joining our podcast, the Spiritual Sexy Podcast. It's lovely, and we're grateful to have you on here with us, to be a part of this movement.
Grateful to be here.
Thank you for supporting Amber and I. Thank you for always supporting me. You're my girl.
Of course,
I got love for you, girl.
I love you.
All right, so tell our people a little bit about you.
Okay. So, what do I want to tell the people? That's what I was talking about earlier.
About you.
So I'm a poet. I'm a mom of 2. I am a wife. I am a Virgo. I am a big feminist. I am working on my new book or whatever. I've always been writing poetry, so it's about time. It's about time.
Right. Proud of you.
And yeah, I'm a whole bunch of stuff. It just depends on what you need. Yeah.
I'm here for
it. And that's not ego. That's just me. I'm really diverse.
Right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm here for it. Yeah. We're supporting that. Same here. I always feel like even when I speak with confidence, it kind of comes off like ego, but I'm a Capricorn, so I know.
Yeah. Capricorn's kind of You guys are known to walk with your chest real bold. And that's good. I love that for you.
I can stand on mine though all day long. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. Look,
right,
I'll stand on mine. I'll stand on that. Okay. So, Cece, we're so excited to have you on. So,
thank you.
Today we wanted to speak a little bit on speaking your truth and navigating through reactive abuse and empowering your throat chakra.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love the throat chakra. I feel like that's the one I empower the most.
I feel like a lot of people, like my best friend Amber, she definitely, I remember her struggling through that, and I'm watching her evolve into this expressive woman, and it's just so beautiful. I never struggled with my throat chakra. I just struggled being mindful using my throat chakra.
How you use it, right? Because words are spells, and so
yes,
when you're passionate, you tend to.
Right. Yeah, I know, and when I started to notice, I started to see myself in people, right? As I become more and more evolving and working on myself, wanting to give myself grace and forgive myself for things, and love on myself. How I wanted to project that out to the world, but then when I see aspects of myself or old ways and people that I love, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to be mindful. I cannot be like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you outgrow people. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think with me, like I was explaining a little bit before, kind of growing up in emotions that aren't allowed to be expressed and stuff like that. I'm a Scorpio, so we're gonna put that out there.
Yes, I love my Scorpios,
but I don't always express the feels. Just growing up where your emotions are not necessarily seen as.
Put your mic towards your mouth.
Oh, yeah. The emotions are not necessarily seen as a value, but your mind, your respect is more valuable.
Absolutely.
It was very hard for me. It was very hard for me being highly sensitive, stuff like that. So I noticed that when it comes time for me to express my throat chakra, I didn't manage it correctly. I only used it, kind of like the whole kindergarten thing where if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So a lot of times I would. And when I was put in negative situations, then I noticed that I would say, I guess, what I saw on them that needed to evolve from a place of ego. And I would go into my little Wednesday Addams, and then I would look at people's faces, and then I need to be said the way you said it. So I'm working on being mindful when I actually do open my mouth and in a negative space. But most of the time I'm just chill and quiet.
You didn't know.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of power. I always was taught that it's not what you say, but how you say it. Right. You can say something that's rude as hell, and you can say it in a sweet way, and it won't hurt that bad.
Right.
Right. So with me, same thing too. I never had that issue. I always said what I had to say. I was just brought up that way.
Right.
But growing up, I started having to learn that I have to have consideration for the person that's receiving it, especially if I care on how they receive it.
Right.
It's a difference between am I saying this for me because I gotta get it out my chest, so I don't give a fuck about the response or the reaction,
right.
Or am I saying this for you because I want you to understand and just kind of have some type of closure. So that, to me, I've been working on that personally because as a Virgo, we tend to also feel not that right is right, but make sense. Make it make sense.
But ain't nothing wrong with making this stuff make sense because there's a lot of people playing around out here, bro.
But common sense is not common, baby. And then
it's not the superpower. It's the superpower for sure.
So I definitely agree on that.
So even with myself, growing up in Brooklyn, I was a tomboy. I grew up around boys. All my cousins, if we couldn't fight with our hands, we fought with our words. And that's what it was, right? So I honestly, if I love you and I care enough for you and I'm even using my breath for you, and that might come off very egotistical, but it's really not. It's coming from a genuine place. If I speak on things that I feel, because I obviously am not being treated fairly, or the energy not being reciprocated, then yes, I might say some shit that might hurt.
And some people need to hear it. I mean, I feel like you can be that person and not come from ego as long as you say it, not trying to strike, but trying to just give them a different perspective. Yeah. You know, like, hey, you know, like, I'm gonna just, you know, maybe I'm wrong. You know, like, use that reverse psychology. Like, you know, maybe I'm just, but sometimes when you do X, Y, and Z, it comes off very this, and that.
Right.
You know, because I feel like some people need to be told.
Yeah, bro.
I agree.
Yes, I'm 41 years old. So I feel like this, and I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. I'm still evolving. I just feel like the work that I put in to become this healthy version of myself, I'm the healthiest. Right now, I'm like kind of hurt, but because I injured my arm. But right now, I am the healthiest spiritually, emotionally, and I've been through some stuff. I've recently just been through a heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? And I have taken the time to actually, this time around, I've taken time to sit with my feelings and work through them. Mm-hmm. But I had a lot of time to do some introspecting and some, you know, looking at outside of myself. And I know that a lot of time when I spoke recently, just for like, I want to say the last 2-3 years, I've spoken from a place that was, hey, you're not reciprocating the energy I'm putting out. So I'm going to tell you what it is. And on top of that, it's almost, you know, you said reverse psychology. People are very calculative. People are very manipulative. And I can see that shit. I can see that shit like a ton. But because I love you, you're still choosing to do that to me. So now I'm going to have to tell you about yourself.
Yeah, and that's what you tell, right? But you got to understand that your truth is not everybody's truth, right? So even though you're telling somebody about your truth, remember, you're living that experience on that vessel. So even though it makes sense, it won't ever make sense to the person on the other side.
I get that now.
You know, so like in those moments of you telling them their truth, make sure you're not waiting for that. You know what? You're right. Like, I see it now. Because you're barely gonna get that. You gotta give the truth and bitch walk away. Like, all right, that was my piece. That was for me. So I know that I did my best in telling you how you affected me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I learned that. I didn't know I needed to learn that, but I definitely learned that. That's a lesson for me that I definitely learned at this big ass age.
I would say that's something that I probably need to work on a lot more. I think that I tend to move off of like energy and all of that stuff, and I tend to wait for the invitation to know like if this is a energetic space that they're in, that they can receive the information that I'm trying to give.
That's
beautiful. Half the time they're not.
Huh?
And half the time they're not ever.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I realize
half the time they're not ready ever to accept anything you have to say.
I realize that I chalk it as that's God, goddess's business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Because I still don't know the steps that they walk to get there, where they are, and I can't always put on my little spiritual cape and save everybody. So I tend to, like, unless it's energetically or I feel the push, I guess from a spiritual perspective, to open my mouth or say something, I tend to mind my business, only because I don't know the steps that was taken. I think that
what transpired, in their life,
how they got to their journey. So if it's not coming off as they're not putting out an energy that I think that is in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing,
right?
Then I just be like, I don't interact with it. I'll be like, I'm not even gonna entertain it.
I admire that. I admire that.
But
because we need people like you.
Not from no. Like, but how you guys were saying and with the communication and things like that, I struggle from getting things off of my chest, because being highly sensitive, I'm like, okay, are they going to be able to receive this from a place of love, or are they going to be able to understand me? And I would say, honestly, the only time I'm able to do that is with my own children, with the girl, where I could be like, oh, you know, I'm going through something, and really give my authentic self. A lot of times people can only handle you at like your 5%. So I digest. If I feel energetically you can digest baby food, I give you baby food. If I feel you can steak, I give you a steak.
Right. Absolutely. I love that.
I definitely admire that. I do admire that, but I feel like people package themselves like they're ready to deal with whatever.
They're not.
You know, when you package yourself and look, that's when I feel like the whole the mask thing, you know, when we talked about this in the other other episodes that we did, people put on a mask. Mm-hmm. And even with me being an empath, mm-hmm. I've been fooled. Mm-hmm. I've been fooled. I'm an energy person. I can read energy. I've been fooled. You know what I mean? I've been bamboozled. Like, what?
People change. That's what I'm trying to tell you. People change.
I don't even think, I think that they knew who they were, period. And they put on a mask to mirror my energy. Yeah. Thinking that's what I needed.
That's the motherfuckers you gotta stay away from. Because now
you don't know until you in it. You don't realize it until you in it. And so there's lessons in that shit. Trust me.
But just because you're right, you got lessons. So now you know how to peep a motherfucker that just like to do what you like to do because you invited them, and not because they know how to give you more deeper insight or perspective on a certain thing. Hell nah. You got to prove yourself nowadays, because like you said,
we were just saying that.
You never know.
We're not giving you the blueprint no more. That blueprint, me trying to tell you how to handle me, what I need, and all. Nah, we're not doing that.
It's a setup. When I tell you, it's
we're not doing that. And now you can mirror, you can act, you can do it all to have access to a girl. You know what I'm saying? To have access to me. We're not doing that no more.
Like I said earlier, I'd rather be different and just rock with your different and just feel like I can mesh with your different.
Yeah.
And you can show me something, I can show you something.
Right.
Than to think somebody's just like me and then they end up changing.
Yeah.
That's the painful part, I think, when you think like you really connected with somebody on depth and all they're doing is cosplaying who you are to get access to you. I think and
it's a real thing. Like, a lot of people probably not experiencing that, but it's a real thing.
They are and they don't know it.
And it's not a slight you being empathic. I think people who are highly sensitive and empathic, people are like, oh, so why didn't you see it coming? It's not that we didn't see it coming. It's the grace and the empathy that we had for that person to see the greatness within them. So we're like, no way they can be doing this
right.
No way, like we're dead loyal to that, the whole thing that they portrayed themselves as. We're not gonna, no, this can't be true. But I think for me, once I know that they're intentionally manipulating me, because sometimes people don't know, like,
so that was my question. Like, does it come, like, there's a bad and good side to that, right? Because I feel like me being me, I'm a real passionate person, and if I met someone, and I did, that is completely different, my likings are going to change because I like you. And so now that I'm trying to be somebody I'm not, but I'm just that adventurous person that, oh, you like doing that and I've never been exposed to that, I'm gonna try it, you know? And so I think that there's that, because there's some people that will just start doing things that you like because they like you. They want to invest not only time and money, but I want to invest learning new things because of
that was me.
Know?
That was me. Right. I was going to church. Your girlfriend was going to church, okay? Look, I got some, I like you
That's
said,
a whole different topic, girl. That's a whole different topic.
It's not, because I started doing things that made me connect to that person.
Yeah.
Like, so that I can have a connection with them. You know what I mean?
And a lot of us do, and that's okay. That, I don't think that's manipulative. Sometimes that comes out of love.
Oh no, that's not manipulative. That's not manipulative at all.
No, it's not.
That's me liking you and wanting to get to know you and want to invest in you and wanting to do these things so that we can have connection. Like, it's all about connecting. Like, so, but when
you get to know you spiritually.
Yeah. So
for the feminine, that's a very common thing that we do, even like from a primal way of doing things. Like, when it comes to like we've all been in the space of motherhood and raising. There's like different phases where we're nesting for our children and making sure it's a safe environment. I think that's the same aspect of like nurturing. Well, I'm gonna create a safe space for you. Let's do some more things that make you feel safe around me. And I think once we're doing it, we're always doing the nurturing. It's kind of like in motherhood where you lose yourself of who you are because you invest so much.
I definitely lost sight. I definitely do.
That's I think that's a given, man. That's a given. I haven't met one woman that hasn't lost herself while having a child.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same with, I think, with the feminine, it's common within the dealing with masculines, we're doing the same thing.
You pretty much are.
It's a little different with your kids, but in relationships, because we're always trying to create a safe space for somebody to grow, to deal with pouring into people, and then you forgot that you need to feel your well too. We forget it all the time, and then the time that you do for yourself or you stand up for yourself, then you got the guilt trip, whether it be the mother guilt trip or the relationship guilt trip. We always do it.
But that guilt trip is good. That's a good guilt trip.
Yeah,
that's a good guilt trip.
You have conscious.
Right.
You're moving from a place
if you're
of love.
if you're questioning how good of a mother you are, you're a great mother already.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because there's always more you can be doing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I feel like that goes the same when it comes to when we have significant others in our life, people that we love and care, we nurture, we, even friends and family members, we nurture, we pour, we do all of this, and we lose sight of who we are because we're trying to take care of other people. I take care of people. That's what I do. Naturally, I'm learning now at my big age, to invest more in Pearl. You know what I mean? From the outside world, it looks like, I might, I'm all about Pearl, but no, there's a whole thing going on outside of what social media sees and what I put out there. For me, I only tell people what I want them to know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So there's a story behind all of it. You know what I mean? So
my mom always said, show people your smile and not your back teeth. So
yeah.
Just
so people assume, and really at the end of the day, I'm very sensitive. I'm super sensitive. If you're like somebody I love and care, and I hate to even put that out there, I really am sensitive. Like I'm a crybaby.
That's good for a Capricorn. That's really good.
Oh yeah, I'm very in touch. I got a Leo moon too, so I'm a crybaby.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I totally agree, and just getting back on the Dory that quick.
Damn.
Dory that quick.
That's me all the time.
Dory that quick.
Oh, you're on the Dory podcast. How about that? We all Dory over here.
That's me all the time.
Yeah. Same.
I think I just.
Okay, so I'll change the subject a little bit. We're gonna touch something else. Okay?
Yeah, I toured it down.
We can get back to that. So, empowering your throat chakra. What does that to you, CC? What does that look like? Healthy. Your perspective of a healthy throat chakra,
Well, I believe that perspective is key, right? So you'll never just be speaking good, even if you think you are. You're always going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Right.
It just depends on your intention and where it's coming from, and again, just deciphering what is meant to be delivered. Do I want to be understood better by that person, or do I want to harm? Okay, so I think a healthy throat chakra for me is making sure you stand up for yourself. So if you feel anything that has to be voiced, I think there's times where we feel these emotions that aren't nobody's business. Right. So there's no reason to share them because the work has to be done within. Unless you need help, cool, but the work has to be done within. But if it's something that's bothering you that pertains to somebody else, always communicate, because the way that I think is, hold on, is there wood out here? I think there is. I'm 29 years old, turning 30 this year, and I don't know nobody that has passed. Nobody in my life that has passed that I have ever loved. And so I tell everyone, make sure you always express yourself, good, bad, anything, even if you don't think it'll make a change, always make sure you say what you got to say. So if anything happens to that person, you know what? They know exactly how I felt.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. So I don't regret not saying nothing. And so I think that's a healthy throat chakra is expressing yourself, making sure it always goes out with love and peace, If it's something mean, making sure that you hold back when you're in a bad emotional state, and you revise and make it as sweet as possible, so that
Right.
you know, just like the higher divine, when you're meant to go through something, what do? They make you go through something bad, but they still save you, right? They don't take you all the way. So when you gotta deliver something, that you gotta tell somebody about themselves, or say something about an argument or a disagreement, make sure you're coming with love. You're coming with peace and respect. You know, you're an open mind. You know, like agree to disagree.
Right, which is also a superpower. But Amber, what about you? Well, like, how do you feel? What's a healthy throat chakra?
Okay. So I'm a mother of many little ducklings.
Yes,
and
feel the tribe.
Yeah, and twins, and
oh my god, that's awesome.
All of them have different elements I'm dealing with in the house. We got Aquarius, we got air, we got fire, we got water, we got earth, we got it all. And so we all handle things a little bit. And they're teaching me, like,
Amber.
Oh, sorry. They're teaching me, like, okay, I will notice, like, okay, I'm dealing with teen boys sometimes, and sometimes me telling them to do something right then and there, I'm being controlling of the situation. And so I will be, unless it's like a danger or safety or something like that, I'm controlling and trying to control the situation for myself. Right. So I'm learning within my throat chakra how to micromanage my own shit too, because I understand, like, is this, am I speaking from a place of I just want to control the situation, or am I speaking from a place to give something of value to them? So whenever I'm speaking to a person, I'm like, okay, let's do a filter out. Let's do a check on myself to make sure I'm not just saying something that only serves me.
Right.
I'm saying something that serves the other person as well. And I've had to learn, dealing with, like, you know, teenagers and stuff like that. There is some things that I have to say, because mentally, emotionally, I had a breakdown recently, and that's just me being transparent. Like, holding stuff in. I got a Capricorn moon, so I like, don't suffer, not fixing anything. But then people don't know. People don't know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean?
Right.
That with Pearl, I struggle where I'm like, she's like, I don't know what you're dealing with unless you tell me. You know?
Right.
So that's the other flaw. So I'm learning to put on different hats when I'm activating my throat chakra, and try to express from a place that I'm expressing myself, but also from a language that they can receive it.
That's beautiful. You're so sweet.
She's my yin and yang. Trust me.
Yeah. Like she's just so like
ego.
Like you are a safe space. Like that's what you embody. I
have that. So I said, moving forward. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not a perfect human. I am striving to be a balanced human, which means I have duality. I always be with that. I'm not perfect, you know.
First with that Scorpio energy.
It gets a little funky with Scorpios, I would say. It gets a little funky. And I have a stellium, so I got a lot of Scorpio shit going on in there. You know, we're like thinking horrible shit sometimes. You know what I mean? And I gotta do that, and the melancholy shit. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Look, you gotta write a book, girl.
Huh?
You gotta write a book.
Me?
We'll think about it, because I definitely am thinking about it.
Pearl gotta help me, because I'm learning now. This is
got to. Your story can influence a lot of other mothers, and your perspective can hit people that maybe the way that I say things, the way that Pearl says things, it just doesn't hit. But the way that you'll say it, it'll just glide on through, you know? So put it out there. And then when you end up passing, your kids have something to look, you know, almost like a Bible. Like, let's see how mom thought about something specific.
No, that's what we say when we started this podcast too. Is like, you know, this will always be available. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's a big responsibility that we have here, to make sure we're not putting aspects of behavior and aspects of, you know, the human experience in a box, because it's very different for everybody. You know what I mean? We only speak from our own experiences, and we only we only elaborate from our own experiences. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we want people to have this open dialogue with us, because we can only talk about our own experiences. We know there are more people that have been through probably the same exact thing, but their experience was different, delivered differently. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
it is definitely the goal here on this platform. For me, a healthy chakra. So I, for the first time in my life, because like you, Cece, I always moved from a masculine energy. I was a tomboy. I grew up like that. Like, I was always comfortable in this Lilith masculine energy. Like, I obviously I have balance and I have duality, and I know how to utilize my feminine side, but I never felt. I always tried to look on how to be feminine when it came to a man, right? But I needed to do it for myself, and this is the first time in my life recently that I started really tapping into my femininity, right? Like being soft and understanding and compassionate and having grace, because a lot of times being that Capricorn and being that Leo moon, I did move from a place of ego, or it came off like it was from a place of ego, but in reality, that's who I am to the core. And I'm very misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? I'm very misunderstood. And a lot of times I have to question myself, like, why the hell if I'm speaking to you, it's coming from a place of love. That's evident, because I don't waste my breath for people.
At
okay?
all.
And people that know me know. I don't have the time, energy, none of that. Like, I don't have that emotional availability to people like that. But I when I started to, like, recently, in the last few years, really tap into my femininity, I gave a lot of grace. I believe I gave more grace than I should have to people. And, I've always, even moving from my masculine energy, even moving from, Pearl being egotistical, whatever people want to call me, prideful, whatever, I've always been a nurturing, caring, loving person, and people take advantage of that. Even my, family, friends, it didn't matter. People walked all over that. And so when I tapped into this feminine energy, I really learned how to my delivery had to be a little more with compassion. Right? But for me, there's levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit. Okay? If I'm coming to you and I'm using my throat chakra, because I've never had a problem with using my throat chakra. There's no real blockages there. No, there wasn't. If I need something, I'll tell you what I need. I've just never had blockages in that area. But I just didn't move from a mindful place sometimes, and I've learned to work on that, and I've learned to treat people the way I want to be treated, talk to people the way I want to be talked to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So even I believe Amber and I were having a conversation about we get to this point of reactive abuse, right? It's fight or flight mode, right? And we get to this point, it doesn't matter who you're dealing with. Most of the time it's loved ones, people that say they love you and they care about you. Because anybody outside of that, I can give two craps about how the hell they feel. I mean, I respect everybody, right? I can be cordial with everybody, but the reality is the energy ain't there like it is there for my loved ones, okay?
Right.
But when I do finally react, or when I do finally speak my truth, and I don't care if it comes from a place where I'm hurt, so I'm gonna say hurtful things. No, I'm hurt, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm hurt, and I'm gonna tell you what you did to me. And it's almost like, oh my God, you're telling me about myself. And now you're the villain because you done told them about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but you know what? It started to
at
be
that point you're telling them for you. You're not telling them for them to get it.
Right. It didn't matter to me when I moved from that masculine energy. But when I started to move from that feminine energy and really start to try to understand people, because that was another problem I had with understanding people's perspective. I didn't understand
that damn latex and fucking whip came out. She said, "What you say?"
I don't understand. So a lot of my struggles was trying to understand people. I don't understand why you're dealing with that. I don't understand why you put yourself through that. But not having that compassion and that grace and that forgiveness, I didn't understand people. So me doing the work to understand people, having the compassion and giving the grace to understand you, but the energy is not being reciprocated, and you playing in my face. So once you start playing in my face, and I know you playing in my face, and you know you're doing it because I love you, and you're gonna keep doing it because
that's where that awareness comes in. That's like beautiful though. You know, like.
Yeah, I'm fully aware. I was like, I know you're doing this because I love you, and you know I love you, and you know you can keep doing this because I love you. And that's when, right, and that me, I was like, bro, I can't even allow myself to like be feminine. Like I can't allow myself to just to put that masculinity away, because the minute I do, niggas feel like they can play with me. People in general.
I think that I think like sometimes people like okay, so we play a lot of games at our house. Clearly we play a lot of video games. I'm gonna try and use this as an example, because I feel like when we're put in a certain vessel, people try to say, oh, we should be this and we should be that and we should act this way and we should be this feminine and we should be this and that. So my kids play a game. They might kill me if I don't express this the correct way. I believe it's called Overwatch. And so in the game, when people are attacking you, everybody has a job. Everybody has a job. You got somebody who's just supposed to be healing. You got somebody who's supposed to have the big guns. You got somebody who's supposed to be doing this. I think the kind of like resistance in the pool you have is because not only are you meant to heal, but you're probably also meant to protect.
Oh, I'm super duper protective.
So, and I've seen that about you. So it comes, I don't think you should change your spirit. And I don't think anybody should shame you for you living in your masculine and you being aggressive in those moments, because that's what your spirit is trying to do, is to protect. So you're not going to resonate with stupid shit, because it's like somebody who carries the fucking big guns, they don't got time to hear that. I got to shoot. I got to get this shit out the way. I got to, you guys are doing stupid shit. I'm here to demolish and rebuild. I don't got time to do other stuff. So I think that how you operate is very much a blessing. A lot of times people
agree.
Yeah, a lot of times people shame people for, moving in that space. But the only reason why they can't understand it is because they don't carry the purpose that you carry.
Right. And you giving people grace over and over is being soft, is being, it's being what you're called to do. But then obviously you're meant to protect that softness and not make it be this, aggressive woman, right? So then the man comes in and he's like, don't worry, honey, sit down. The man in you comes in and he's like, all right, let's go. Right. You wanna be this man that I can't resonate with? Come sit with the man that I am then, and let's go.
Part. And that's okay. That part.
That's okay.
But it for me, I feel like, okay, so yeah, maybe I do walk around with a little bit of shame since, my last situation or my last experience. I do walk around with some shame because I feel like I feel like the seed was definitely planted. So I do walk around a little shame, thinking that because I'm now having to defend myself and having to say things that I never wanted to say to you. I wanted to nurture you. I wanted to pour into you. I wanted to love on you. I wanted to create this space that you felt safe in. But now you're playing with me.
Yeah.
So now, and I keep loving it. And I don't mean keep accepting it. Yeah, what I tell everybody is validation don't mean I gotta agree with you. I can validate everything you got going on in your life and just not agree with how you move.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah.
Okay?
Real. Yeah.
So like I say keep moving with love. Yeah. You know how tough it is to know you done some girl wrong and she's still like, have a good day when I do, but also don't give it energy. Yeah. Like if the only time I could talk to you is when I got something nice to say, then if I'm not in the mood that day and I should not reply to you, I'm not going to, because then I'm going against my character.
Right.
When I'm a flower, I'm a butterfly. I am made from the higher divine, meaning just like the higher divine allows us to like sin and mess up and regain, and have grace and forgiveness. Right. I'm gonna move just like, because you are a goddess. Yeah. But that's it, because you throwing love into that is just gonna spiral through. You already did your work.
Yeah.
You sat there for the class. You gave it grace. You gave it grace. You gave it grace. And then, all right, as a teacher, I did my job. Go, you failed.
Yeah,
Go take the class next year with somebody else. I'm not doing that.
And they're also women as if like we can't be aggressive. Like we're not. Even in we were talking about this in the last one. Even when we look in like primal situations, women are the ones ripping shit apart. You know what I mean? They're the ones doing all the violence and stuff like that. So I hate just that narrative that women are supposed to be responsible.
But they're submissive to their king. That's the thing, you know. Like in the wild, women call the shots, and they're the toughest, and they're this. But when it comes to her king, she's like, that's that Bonnie to that Clyde, and not because it's supposed to be like that, but because when it comes to energies, that energy has to combine. You have to make me want to be soft because your masculine is enough for the both of us, and I feel safe. Right. Yeah. It comes from a safe place, not from a submissive, obeying place, but because you make me feel like such a queen, I want to call you daddy. The fuck?
But that's a title that has to be worked on. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you have to put in the work. Like, you don't just get it.
No.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This day and age, these motherfuckers walking around here thinking they're supposed to be called king, and you are not a king if you're not putting in the work. I'm sorry, boo.
No.
Look,
what you get is what you get.
I call everyone a king personally, just because I can see somebody on the streets, a man that hasn't had a job in 5 years, he's been homeless, doing drugs, not doing nothing for his kids. You're a king. You're a king, but not every king is gonna sit on a throne.
Yeah,
right.
Like you got cycles. Just like not every president is gonna be in the White House for the his whole life, right? So everybody's royalty. It's just what you do with it.
Yeah.
Totally. To me,
well, you're not my king if you ain't doing the work. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love you. I can build you up.
I need that balance in my life. That's why I'm your friend.
The same way I can build you up, and I'm good for that. The same way I can speak my fucking truth, and it can tear you the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your problem. That's something you have to deal with. You have to face the truth and how it makes you feel. That's no longer my problem. Like you said, Cece, you say what you have to say, and then that's it.
Leave it at that.
You know,
so, they can do what they want with it.
Yeah, and you can play wounded hyena all you want. I don't care.
you can either learn from it and be a better person, or you can be a victim and just go feel like
a wounded hyena.
I don't know what to tell you. Right.
Be a wounded hyena.
Look, nobody's here to finish raising somebody else's child.
Right.
If you can't be grown, go back to your mama house and start over.
A lot of them suffering from mama wounds. Like they never had their mama. So they expecting other women to be that for them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait, your mama didn't want to take care of you. Why the hell am I supposed to be taking care of you?
Look, I can take care of you as long as I don't got to finish raising you in the sense of like,
and that part,
how to be a man.
Yeah,
showing you how to be emotionally intellectual, not just getting a job or providing, but you got to learn how to sit down and have a debate.
Right. 100%, without feeling attacked, without feeling inadequate,
without feeling like I'm coming for you.
You're not
just trying to get to know you, right?
Right. We're trying to have an understanding. It doesn't always have to be a attack on you. Like if I love you and you're my friend or significant other, whatever it is, I should be able to have this dialogue with you.
But a lot of men feel that's intimidating because not a lot of men grow up with emotional intelligence by their fathers. A lot of fathers didn't grow up talking to their boys, right? And a lot of mothers, just gave them like physical nurturing love. So being grown up, and now you have this generation where we're like, look, you better hit me with a motherfucking essay, okay? Right. Explanatory with the beginning, the middle, the ending, all that. Because make it make sense. And that's intimidating.
Because
that's intimidating if you don't know what you know what to say, and especially if you don't know what you're feeling.
Just go deal with it. Go deal with basic then, because there's enough for them out there. There's enough for those women, like you said, the nurturing mothers that just nurture them. There's enough for those females out there doing that for these dudes, and that's why they're running around here acting the way they acting. So. Yeah. Because
we can also show them, babe, okay? Because how are they going to learn if they don't get it with a woman like us?
That's true.
or we can be friends with them. Like I'm like you. I've always had homeboys just because I resonate more with the masculine energy and chopping it up about hip hop, Atlanta wives, or what the fuck ever. Like it's just not. That's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I always been with the boys, and yeah, I just feel like a lot of them need a woman that can explain it in their way.
Right. And it's crazy because same here. Like I've always they don't never I never even had to do anything with these men, but these men been around for years, girl. These men in my life have been around for years, and it never had to be nothing. You know, when we talk, when we don't. But when we talk, you already know what Pearl coming with. You know what I'm saying? You already know me. Like there's no, I speak how I speak. I am who I am, and there's no hard feelings. Like you ain't stick around this long not being able to handle. And a lot of the times, those are the dudes that keep it so funky. But you know, they're in the friend lane. It's like,
I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's the story. I'm gonna stick beside it.
I found it always easier to just keep it at friends. Not saying I ain't never been in relationships or anything like that, but
you got a whole tribe. We know you've been in a
with making babies.
Making babies.
But like I always felt comfortable around it. Like I idolized my older brother and stuff. It always felt easier to just navigate that. But then being around them, you learned a lot of like unhealthy patterns, like my best guy friends and stuff like that. And I noticed with them, they just kind of chalk it as it is what it is.
Right.
Like,
yeah, they're more logical thinkers. We're more intuitive and emotional.
Right. So it's like it's sometimes they're just comfortable with the whole cop out thing. Like, well, this is just how things are.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's women that are literally like, okay.
Because when they wanted to try and get it to a relationship level, meaning like cross over here to me, I was like, I just see all the nasty shit you did. Why would I entertain it? You know, but
well, I appreciate having this open dialogue with you ladies. Cece, like for real, do you know when you're gonna be coming out with your book? I know you said it's your baby, you take you in time, but is there like
well, like I said, I'm turning 30 this year in August, so I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm so excited, huh?
You what now?
I said I'm turning 30 in August.
Right.
So
the big
I'm hoping. Yeah, the big 3-0. So I'm hoping to have like at least it printed out and everything by then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay,
I really am.
I'm excited for you, girl, and we're gonna have you back on here, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So, the next time you do one of those smoke poetries, can you invite me?
Yes. I really don't do them often because I get really nervous. Like that's why it took me so long to start a book, girl, because a lot of my poetry is intimate things, like things that I went through in my life, and you know, I'm a very,
I love that.
You know, that puts me in a woman's state. Like when I read my poetry, I gotta put my heels on, my damn latex. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta show out. You know,
I'm here for it.
But yes, I will definitely
invite me. I want to come. I want to come. I remember when was your last birthday? You did one, didn't you? Do it for the 29th? Man, I'm sad.
Girl, I got there super late and got super drunk, so I didn't perform because I was like, I'm not gonna make an ass of myself on my birthday.
Right. It looked like a dope vibe.
Yeah, it was an amazing vibe. Yeah, it always is though. Spoken words is always an amazing vibe.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Well, I think how do you feel about the topic today? Do you feel like we covered enough on that? Like, does anybody have anything to say? No,
I just want to commend you ladies for starting this platform. I think,
thank you.
Like you said, any space to create a community where you can give perspective, opinion, respectful debates. Like, that's such a healthy, safe space for people to tune in. And I'd rather watch something like this versus going on TikTok watching people be unhealthy, because it feeds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just keep on doing this. This is awesome. And like I said, you guys come with love and light, and I love it.
Thank you. We're so grateful to have you on here. Thank you for joining our podcast.
Hi.
You have a wonderful, beautiful day today. And we'll chat it up later.
Yes, it was amazing meeting you, Mama.
And again, I love your hair.
Huh?
Your hair.
Thank you. Stop.
Like, oh my God, her hair.
I'm gonna turn red. Okay.
All right, Mama. So
I love you.
We'll do another retreat this summer. I'm hoping you guys set something up.
Yes. I'm setting a few things up. I am.
Well,
I'm just trying to, make the experience 10 times better.
We need to get her ass up out here.
I know.
We're gonna make something happen, CJ. We're gonna make something happen.
I'm gonna plan in advance so you can come down for sure.
Yes. Okay, cool. So let's do that. That sounds like a game plan. Thank you for joining our Spiritually Sexy podcast. We love you. We love you, guys. Bye. Oh, she's so dope.
I know. Good.
She's so dope. I'm so happy that she came and joined us and became a part of this movement. Cecily is such a light worker. I remember one day Cece and I, we known each other for some time, but we didn't really know each other, and we sat there and talked about the most vulnerable stuff about ourselves. And it didn't change anything. When I say it didn't change anything, it didn't change how we looked at each other, because we already had an open space for each other. You know what I'm saying? We already created a room to get to know one another. So it was just nice. And so that's how I really connected with her, and I'm grateful.
I really live for that, because a lot of people, you can't have those in-depths.
Right.
And I'm not really good at the small talk, I'm really good at that. So just being able to have that and her create that space with you, that's really beautiful. That's love.
Well, I'm just grateful also that, people, like-minded people and, men and women, are interested even having open dialogue with us, coming on this platform and speaking, right? And us being able to just converse. Mm-hmm. That is our purpose. That is what we're doing here. A lot of times it's just me and you 90% of the time, right? And which it will always continue, because this is what we do, but it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice.
It's very nice. Yeah. I love it because some things she said, I can now carry that nutrition with me.
Right.
And be right. Speaking with other people, it gives you those aha moments. I never looked at it like that. Thank you so much. And a lot of people are scared to do that, but this is what the human experience is really about. If I don't have a manual for nothing, I know that that's what we're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Changing different thoughts around.
Right. Putting things in perspective. Even though we have our own perspective, we can dissect and put things in perspective when it comes to other people's perspective.
Yeah.
Listeners, I adore you, so my bad.
You do. Y'all already know y'all gonna be wearing Dory shirts soon.
My God, it's one of those days. But we're saying how, just listening to her and hearing her out, you say aha, I had that aha moment, I am dealing with shame, I'm dealing with shame. A seed was planted from somebody that I love very much, and I felt shameful for moving in my masculine energy because my back was put against the wall. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't. There's I bring it back to this, and I kind of I understand we just live in society where women are supposed to be meek and quiet and timid and stuff like that. But there's so many tribes. If you look back in the time that were led, I know there was this movie called The Woman King that came out. So many the women that were doing stuff, you carry this energy. Now look, I said it before, I'm not good at history and all of that, and I can't put it into perspective, but I know it comes from, I believe, Egypt, where a woman was, she's like, well, I'm gonna do the pharaoh shit too.
Right.
That's the energy you get. Don't let nobody make you feel shame, because again, I feel this energy from you that this girl's supposed to protect. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is what she's supposed to do, and nobody should make you feel shame. Not saying that you don't carry the feminine, you do, but it's a heavy crown, and nobody should feel shame for that. That's weird.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that. I'm currently, you know, again, like I said it before, I say it again. This is the first time in my life where I'm allowing myself to heal. Yeah. And sit in my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So guys, we love you all for tuning into the Spiritually Sexy Podcast with your girl Pearl and Amber. We love you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We now have access to our live on TikTok. So join us there. Join us on some conversations. We're trying to get it where Amber and I can both be on there at the same time. There's a few requirements that they're requiring for us to do. So tune in, join in on the conversation, join in, have open dialogue. Let's go ahead and build on this community and keep it a safe place. Yeah, Amber, you want to say anything before we out?
Yeah, I really enjoyed having somebody on here. So like whoever wants to come on, whatever the topic, open, like I took some good shit with me today.
Yeah, it was definitely healthy. It was dope.
I live for that. Like my little Scorpio stuff, I live for that.
That's dope.
Have a great day.
Yes, we love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. It's Monday for us here. You guys probably won't get this on a Monday, but Ashe, we love you all.
Love you.
Bye, babies.